It's only been 18 days. 18 days since I initially got diagnosed with cancer. December 17th was when I found out. It was a Tuesday. And since that Tuesday, I have had PET scans, CT scans, all kinds of blood drawn. My first oncology doctor appointment that was done this past Thursday. A lot has happened in just 18 days, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it, how much really can happen over the span of 2.5 weeks. But apparently, a lot of things can change over the course of such a small time frame. This is one of the first videos where I've actually sat down and I've taken a couple of notes down for some topics that I want to talk about. Um, I haven't really done that before. I kind of just speak. This is actually the third video that I've done already, and the first two are not to my liking. So I'm doing it again now with some notes. So let's see if we could go ahead and make this a little bit educational with some updates and everything it is that's going on. So as most of you guys know, I had my first surgery done December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. They went ahead and they removed a large mass from the left side of my neck. And it was cancerous lymph nodes. They removed 4 of them in total. Turned out to be quite large, 4.5 by 2.4 centimeters. So, seeing as they're about the size of a bean, so for them to have grown that large, it's pretty bad. They did a 3.5 incision on my left neck. It has healed quite nicely. It's, very sensitive to the touch, but all the glue and everything's finally come off. It looks really nice. My ear, they said that they had to cut some of the nerves around and away from my ear. So they said that there is a good chance that I'd lose a lot of feeling in there. But of course, with me being young and for the most part healthy, they think that those will regenerate with time and I should gain some feeling left in there. But as of right now, all I feel are the tinglies as if whenever, you fall asleep. So, or whenever your limb falls asleep. So that's always fun. Feels like I got smacked on the left side of my head constantly. So with that little update right there, let us continue. So as most of you guys know, I finally got diagnosed after months and months and months of trying to figure out what it is that I have. And I have lymphoma. And the oncologist finally covered over what it is that I actually have. But technically, I am a medical mystery. So I have a high-grade B-cell lymphoma with Burkitt-like genetic markers, which just missing one genetic marker, and a lot of unspecified stuff going within my cancer as well. So as with most things, they can go ahead and give you a general broad term, lymphoma, and then they can specify exactly what kind of lymphoma it is that you have. So as of right now, I am unspecified. They have yet to actually figure out exactly what kind of lymphoma that I have. They said that they sent some more of my samples over from the surgery to this specialized clinic over in Utah, and that they've been working on it since New Year's. So they should have by now some results of what actually specified kind of lymphoma it is that I have, which they'll cover with me in the next couple of weeks. But lymphoma is a blood cancer. It's a cancer that affects your lymphatic system, your blood cells, and mostly it can spread really easy, seeing that it's in your blood. It can spread to your bone marrow, it could spread to other organs, it can, whatever it is that blood touches, right? So anything within my body is fair game. So with lymphoma, the kind of lymphoma that I have, they're considering me stage 1/2. Like I said, as of right now, I'm unspecified on a lot of different things. But the reason why they're saying that is because I had this giant mass of cancer basically right here on my neck, which they removed already. And when they did a PET scan on me, they also noticed that I had some enlarged lymph nodes that were right here on my right side that looked precancerous. They actually did this imaging with this high contrast in a PET scan. And basically, the PET scan goes over a lot of different information. It goes over what they call an SUV, basically. When the contrast enters your body, they let it sit in your body for a little bit, and it connects and it attaches to cancerous cells within your body, making them glow whenever they're taking the PET scan imaging. So to put this into perspective, I actually have all the results right here that they went over with me. So on my right side right here, so my lymph nodes were measuring at about 2.2. Some other things within my body were sitting around 1.7 or so, which they said that might be some artifact going on, but the actual cancerous cells within my left side right here, they're measuring at 33.4. So, you know, that was quite high for that. They said that it was a giant white spot with on the scans, which that's cool, you know, I guess, something bright in my future. So they saw some precancerous stuff going on right here on the right-hand side, but they didn't really seem too concerned about that, which I'll cover that in a second. So with the different stages of lymphoma, there's 4 different stages within lymphoma, and within those stages, they're considering me 1/2. So they had the giant mass that was right here, which that's what stage 1 is. It's just a localized cluster of cancer. Stage 2 is whenever the cancer spreads elsewhere within your body. So as of right now, like I said, they saw some stuff right here on the right-hand side, but it wasn't anything that was alarming to them quite as of yet. Stage 3 is whenever it passes your diaphragm, and once it passes the diaphragm, it goes to other parts within your body. They consider that stage 3. And then stage 4 is whenever it passes the diaphragm and it starts infecting other organs around the area. With lymphoma, the oncologist assured me that they treat to cure. They don't treat just to treat the cancer and alleviate the symptoms and whatever else. They treat so that they can actually cure what it is that's going on within my body right now. So with that being said, she also said that it was a very aggressive type of lymphoma, and that even though they don't know exactly what it is as of yet, they have a treatment plan. So they're going to start me on a chemo plan, a very aggressive chemo plan called an REPOC. Don't ask me to say all of those words because I will not be able to pronounce them. But with the REPOC, basically, it is a 5-day, 24-hour chemo plan. That's there's 6 individual treatments, so it lasts over the course of 6 months. It's basically 1 week on, 2 weeks off of the treatment, and then they repeat it 6 individual times. So my first treatment's going to be this coming 13th, which is not this Monday, but the following Monday coming up. Once they start doing the chemo, basically what it's going to consist of is I go into the infusion suite that first day, and I sit in the infusion suite for about 5 hours or so, 5 to 6 hours, where they're constantly putting this chemo into my body and letting it circulate, and so that they can monitor me and everything there in this suite. They're going to give me this specialized backpack that's going to be attached to me via what they call a port. So they're going to place a port somewhere right here. I'm basically going to be a giant human plug. And what that'll do is that'll give them easy access to my veins so that they don't have to constantly keep poking me and putting all these different holes into my body, of course, because that can also cause infection, which they really want to try to avoid infection. But with the port, basically what they'll do is they'll give me a backpack. And what the backpack is going to be filled, it's going to be filled with chemo drugs. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to sleep with this backpack on, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really specified about that yet. But the chemo is going to be circulating throughout my body for 24 hours for the next 3 days. And in those 3 days, I'm going to be going back and forth between the infusion suite, taking more labs, making sure that everything in my immune system is good, because with chemo, your immune system generally just disappears, and they don't want it to entirely disappear, and that would be really fatal. So, and then on the last day, I'm going to go back, and then they'll take off the backpack and everything. I'll do some more infusion there in the center, and then I head my happy ass home. And for the next 2 weeks, I just go ahead and I let the chemo run throughout my body. There are going to be days, I guess, where I feel super nauseous. There are going to be days where I really don't feel like doing anything and have no energy. So, you know, we'll look forward to seeing how I look in the next couple of weeks after my first chemo, right? I have all this stuff that's going to start going on. They're also wanting to do a spinal tap, because with lymphoma, there's always a good chance that it could infect your bone marrow, and if it affects your bone marrow, then it's affecting your bones. So they want to do a spinal tap on me. They want to make sure that I don't have anything in my bone marrow, and they're also going to put some chemo into that whenever they're doing that as well, just to cover all their bases. They're also going to do a heart procedure done on me. They're going to take some images of my heart just to make sure some of this medication for the chemo is really aggressive. And they're really concerned that as time goes on, that as I get older, that some of this medication might give me some heart failure. So they want to make sure that I'm not going to die from heart failure due to this chemo that I'm doing right now when I'm 25. So all of that's going to start happening pretty soon. with me being a medical mystery, the doctor from my oncologist, she basically said that they're going to go ahead and convene what they call a tumor board, which I guess they have all the time. And she's going to present my case to the tumor board at the cancer area. And they're just basically going to go over all the different results that have happened to me. And they want to make sure that this is, of course, the right treatment plan. She's super confident. She said like 98% confident that this is the right course of treatment. But of course, it doesn't help to get advice from your peers and seeing if there might be any other alternatives. With this particular chemo plan, she said that if, of course, if they need to switch out any of my medications or if they need to switch up the dosages or whatever it may be, they can do that on the fly. They don't have to wait around and like, oh, get some more diagnosis, and they'll just switch it out on the fly, and then I just can keep doing what it is that I'm going to do. So 6 months worth of chemo. It's January now, and I should be finishing up by mid-July. Right before my birthday, I should be having my last bit of chemo being done. So hopefully, you know, I have something to celebrate during my 26th birthday. So we'll see what ends up turning out, right? So the chemo plan is going to be really intensive. It's really aggressive. So we'll see how I look and how I act and how I am going forward. I have all kinds of prescriptions already that they're doing. She said that she wanted to load me up on as much nausea medication as possible because a lot of the times people just don't eat when they're doing chemo, and that's what a lot of the weight loss comes from, is just poor eating habits, really. She said that it's entirely up to me and how much weight that I lose. I got to make sure that I'm on point with what it is that I'm eating on a daily basis, high protein, making sure that my body has enough so that I can actually, nutrition, so that I can actually process and do what it is that needs to be due. I have medical leave that's going to be going on for work. That's going to be periodic. I'm not really sure how that's going to work going forward because, of course, everybody reacts differently to chemo. So, yeah, a lot of stuff has went on in just 20 days, 18 days. So hopefully going forward, I go through all of this, and I'll be keeping everybody updated. I'm going to be posting, of course, here on YouTube. I'm going to be posting on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever the social media it is that I should post on. My sisters have also thought about doing like a GoFundMe or some kind of fundraiser for some of my medical bills because your boy broke, and these chemo plans and these treatments are not cheap at all. So if that information comes out, I hope that you guys help me out. If not, I completely understand because I'm broke and I eat McDonald's on a daily basis. Dollar menu, boys. Hey, so, you know, it's crazy. Just so much has happened. It really just makes you think about your mortality and your future and ways that you really shouldn't have to. I've had to think about getting like a living will done. And how I want my estate to be handled on the occasion of, you know, death or whatever it may be. I had to update things on my phone for medical, so if I happen to pass out somewhere, they understand what it is that's going on. And like, I mean, even with this chemo, the doctors told me, like, if I have any fever whatsoever, like if I hit 100 degrees, like I have to go to the ER. Like there's no choice. Like there's no waiting it out. Like I have no immune system. So, you know, if I have any fever whatsoever, any kind of infection whatsoever, the flu, it can kill me. So, you know, it's going to be a huge life change, and I'm going to lose all of my hair. So we'll see how I look bald. I hope I don't like look like an alien because my head's going to be all white without a tan. And I'll do a video about that as well. So you guys can see your boy getting bald. But yeah, no, I wanted this to be a little educational, a little update that's going on right now. And yeah, no, this is my last weekend, well, including next weekend, but this is one of my last weekends where I'm going to be me still up until this chemo. So wait for the next couple of updates that I'll have coming out. I'll post a lot of them onto social media, something that are just short little sweet clips of what it is that's going on. But until then, make sure you hit me up. I appreciate everybody being friends the way you guys are, and family coming out and everything else. So I know this is a longer video, so thank you so much for sticking around if you stuck around through the whole thing. But if not, I understand because you ain't listening anymore anyway. So up until next time, guys, thank you. Bye.